Welcome to our podcast, Beyond the White Coat, the emotional side of medical care, where we explore the human qualities that shape our workplace and communities. I'm your host, Punya, and today we are diving into a topic that's at the heart of healthcare empathy and compassion. Healthcare professionals dedicate their lives to caring for others. But what does it truly mean to care with intent? How can empathy and compassion transform patient care and workplace culture? Joining me today is Captain Amita, a seasoned clinical psychologist specializing in workplace behavior and emotional intelligence. Warm welcome to you, Captain Amita. Thank you so much for coming to our podcast.
Thank you, Punya, for giving me this opportunity to share this platform with you.
Thank you so much. So, to start off, Captain Amita, many people use the terms empathy and compassion interchangeably. Could you clarify the difference between the two?
Right. So, empathy is all about understanding others' emotions, be able to understand what the other person is going through. So, it starts with self awareness, whether they are able to analyze their own behaviors, identify if something is troubling them, and then only they'll be able to understand what other people are going through.
Yeah.
So, that is what is empathy is all about. The second is compassion. Compassion goes a long way, like doing small little gestures every day, which can elevate other person's suffering. So that the person feels that they are being cared for. That is the thing compassion is all about.
Rightly said. You said that self care is important. So, this brings me to another question, Captain Amita. Why is empathy particularly crucial in a healthcare setting compared to other industries?
Right. So in the healthcare industry, we see human to human interaction.
Yeah.
That is where empathy plays a big role.
Yeah.
Right. So unless the caregivers or the people who are in healthcare industry, like nurses, technicians, or doctors, they are empathetic towards their clientele. Then only the patients will feel comfortable and would like to revisit them again.
True.
So how they are welcomed on their first visit, that goes a long way.
Yes.
So if there's someone who listens to them, who is able to understand their issues proactively.
Yeah.
Apart from that, if the trust is built up, trust is the basic thing which we can build up in healthcare industry towards our patient. So if that trust is there, it helps in nurturing positive relationships for future.
Yes, absolutely. I absolutely, resonate with you. First impression is the last impression. And this brings me to another question, Captain Amita. What role does compassion play in fostering a healthy, productive work environment among healthcare teams?
Right. So compassion is all about how the person who is working there feels in that environment.
Yeah.
So if the culture of the society, if the culture of the place where they are working, they feel that there are people who are caring for their employees.
Yeah.
They definitely feel motivated to work for betterment of their clients. So it goes a long way that what kind of work culture we are establishing or we are nurturing.
Yeah, truly said, Dr. Amita. When it comes to compassion at the workplace, it also becomes important for the leaders to lead by example. So, what are some practical ways you would suggest that leaders can do to encourage and model compassionate behavior within their teams?
Right. So first is lead by example.
Yeah.
So as we know that leaders' behavior are emulated by their team members.
Yeah.
So if they see that their leaders are empathetic towards their employees, definitely employees will try and develop that that quality in them also, which will help in client satisfaction. Second is if the leader is listening actively to their employees. If the employees feel heard by their leaders,
Yes.
that also goes a long way. The third point is giving feedbacks, praising your employees for the good work they are doing. That needs to be done. Along with that, some training in emotional quotient generation can be done.
Yeah.
So by all these steps, we can generate a culture of empathy and compassion in the workplace.
Truly said. Thank you so much for this question, answer, Dr. Amita. Despite its importance, we all know how important empathy is. What challenges do you think prevent the healthcare professionals from consistently showing empathy, and how can they overcome it?
Right. So as we know that healthcare workers, they work in strict deadlines or
Yes.
strict timelines.
Yeah.
So due to that, they feel pretty stressed and they feel emotionally drained.
Yes.
Right. So that is one of the issue. Along with that, they have a lot of administrative tasks to complete. So these things add on further pressure for them. Also, the clinical language they speak with the patients. So if they can, limit the clinical jargon while they're interacting with the clients, that can also help them to understand the patient in a better way.
Yeah.
So all these issues can give rise to a lot of workplace stress. If they can help themselves in identifying what they're going through, that can be a way to move forward.
Yeah. So thank you that you gave us some tips and on how can they overcome them. But I wanted to ask you, can empathy and compassion be measured in employee performance? If so, how?
Right. So there are certain, not in exactly the same metrics how we measure other things, but
Yeah.
definitely the behavioral observations can be made by team leaders or peer groups. Second is the patient feedback, or various emotional quotient surveys can be filtered by the employees themselves, like how they are reacting to various distressing situations, how they are resolving various conflicts in their workplace, what they engage, what they go through on day-to-day basis. So through different measures, we can definitely identify and then also work towards developing that emotional quotient if something is lacking in employees.
Right, right. And you clearly mentioned that there's a lot of workplace stress, and because of which the employees are not able to show, compassionate care, and there's a lot of deadlines that they need to meet. On that note, I wanted to ask you, let's say the employees are feeling emotionally drained, but they still want to consistently maintain compassionate care. How can they do that?
Yeah. So first and foremost thing is taking small little breaks for themselves. Like after every hour, specifically in this healthcare industry where the situation can get very tense as they're dealing with lot of trauma, lot of anxiety, lot of fears of other people. So we can make a rotation where every hour someone takes a 5 to 10 minutes break, or some of the other colleague can fill in for their timing during that period. During that 5 to 10 minute break, they can go for their bio break, they can go and drink two, 3 glasses of water, or they can do simple 2 minute mindful meditation,
Okay.
which can help them to bring in the present moment, also help them to ground themselves.
Yeah.
So that next 1 hour they can be recharged and
Yeah.
can go back to their work effectively.
True that. So, on those lines only, what small daily behavior changes can these professionals take to foster an empathetic and compassionate workplace?
Right. So first is they can, when someone comes in, the client comes in, they can greet them by their name.
Yeah.
So the person feels very nice if someone is greeting them by their name.
Yeah.
Second is less of clinical jargon. If they can reduce the clinical jargon in their interaction with the patient.
Yeah.
The third one is active listening without interrupting the patient. Lot of times we have seen that the doctors would just interrupt the patient. Oh, we have understood what is your problem. So instead of doing that, let the patient say what the problem is, and then you rephrase the issues what you have understood. That also goes a long way in helping and building the relationship with the patients. And to foster these relationships, we need to do these small little steps in our day to day. Also, being gratitude, show the gratitude to the other person.
Yeah.
So that other person feels understood.
We all want to feel appreciated and understood, right? So now there are certain times when employees can make behavioral mistakes. So, what do you think are the most common behavioral mistakes that employees make that unintentionally reduce empathy?
Right. So first is cutting the conversation in between without even understanding or listening what the your patient is trying to convey.
Yeah.
There the patient feels that, oh, the person is not listening, so I shouldn't come back to this place again. So that brings a negative image to the organization. The second mistake they do is that being occupied with other tasks while interacting with the patient. Either they would be on their phone or they would be doing some administrative tasks. So if you are interacting with the client, you need to actively listen to them, make eye contact with them. So when you make eye contact, people feel that yes, there's someone who is there for me and who is listening to me. So that helps in alleviating a lot of their anxieties and fears.
True. Eye
So
contact is
eye
important.
contact is important.
Yes.
And then the positive reframing of the issues what the patient has had. And also if you feel that you are not able to help them at that moment, do ask them, okay, just wait for 5 minutes, I'll get back to you, and do get back to them.
True.
Yeah. So that the person knows that okay, someone has gone and they would come back and helping with the right issues.
Yes.
And how to proceed further.
True. Thank you so much. This was a helpful answer. Moving to the next question, we all want to, build a habit of empathy. That's what we want to do around us. So, what's one powerful habit that you think healthcare workers can adopt to consistently show empathy and compassion even on tough days?
Right. So I think the mindfulness practice,
Yeah.
which they can start at the beginning of their day before they start work,
Hmm.
that can go a long way.
Yeah.
Because that will help them to understand their own thoughts, their emotions, and also how their behavior is going to be.
Yeah.
And if they feel that something is troubling them, they can definitely reach out to their managers or their leaders and discuss with them how they can be helped.
True.
So, if we are able to build that kind of community in the workplace where everyone feels understood, it's not only that for patients they have to understand. It's also among the workforce. Workforce people have to understand each other.
Charity begins at
Yeah.
home.
Definitely.
Right. So this brings me to the final, section of our podcast. If there is one lasting message, Dr. Amrita, that you would like to give, what would it be about empathy, behavior, and compassion for the healthcare employees?
So, at the beginning of each day, if they can, remember the purpose of their coming to this industry, why they chose this profession, and how it is helping them to build their life. So, that helps in having that compassionate care for others, and also what helps them to motivate for the day.
Sure. I mean, purpose is important.
Yes.
And every day, I think we need to remember the purpose that we are here for.
Yes.
That's a very beautiful thought to end this podcast on. Thank you so much, Captain Amita, for your valuable insights. Your words remind us that while medical knowledge heals the body, empathy and compassion heals the soul.
So,
Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure to interact.
Thank you. Thank you so much.